Hey, everybody, and welcome to another week in this installment of Fourever Rivals. How are we, guys?
How are we, gentlemen? How are we all? Good to be here.
Good evening.
Good evening,
Good
all
evening.
fellas.
Good evening. Good evening. All right. What another week it's been in football. As we were saying just before we started, there's always something to talk about, isn't there? Before we go, let's just have a look at this. Everyone subscribe, like, share, and become a member of the Jumper Punch. All your help, all of this, your likes, your subscribes, all of that helps everyone. Everyone puts in a lot of work except for these three. Everyone puts in a lot of work into doing these shows to give everyone some entertainment. So as I said, man, even just a push of the like does a lot for us, doesn't it, Quinn? You know about this shit?
Absolutely. A like, a comment, all the little things make a big difference. So, yeah, everyone jump across and show some support.
So if everyone can just do a little bit of support, give a little bit of love, everyone is happy. We've got Peter Bluebag as always by Mania at the G. What does that mean? By Mania at the G. I don't know what that means.
Buy mania, just heaps of buys and
By Mania. Sorry, guys. By Mania at the G. Yes,
Hey, welcome, Rocco. Welcome to the
my
show.
Yasul, Manny, and boys. Manny, Costco, always here. Yes, Manny. Sorry, mate.
No, welcome, Rocco. You were just a bit to react on that one there, matey. So it's all good.
Yeah,
all
no,
good.
no, a bit. Well, yeah, of course. When you do a million
Yeah,
things,
that's right.
just
That's
a few things pass you by. So let's go. Here we go. We got a nice one here. Manny, is the MGC still located in Sydney Road, Brunswick? Or where it's been the big conversation of the week of where Manny knows his locations. What about this one? What's this one say? Hi guys, play nice, no fight. No, we never fight, man. This is
We'll try not to. We'll try not to.
No fighting. A little bit of banter. A little bit of banter. You know, it's healthy banter.
Of course, it's healthy banter. What else could it possibly be? Of course, it's healthy banter. All right, let's get into this banter.
You feel like you could be on a horse galloping down some paddock there
it definitely gets you pumped up and ready to rock and roll. All right, this is what we're going to do this week, right? We are going to throw it out there. Anyone's got any comments out there that want to talk about a particular discussion point? Just throw out your comments. Anyone out there? I know, Manny, you had some things you wanted to discuss.
Yeah, actually, I did have a couple of things to discuss. So, I mean, one thing that I wanted to discuss is how disgusted I am in the fact that the AFL turned around and said on this evening's news that if sponsoring stops or gambling in regards to the big gambling companies sponsoring and being part of the footy, all of a sudden the AFL solution is, you know what, we're just going to put the prices up. It's typically showing that they're a business and they don't care about anything else. They only care about making money and the profits. So when they sit there and they say, oh, we're supporting, junior football and we want the kids and we want this and we want that. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to dollars. That's all it is. Just absolutely disgusted by the fact they'd say, we're going to put the tickets up. The ticket prices are going to go up. Absolutely shocking. So that's something that's really been irritating me.
Fair enough. And I'm just going to be devil's advocate because I have to be here, all right? What do you want them to do, Manny, if they lose that revenue?
I'm not saying losing the revenue is a good thing. What I'm saying
but what I'm saying is it's fair enough you say okay. Like, all right, they lost it. I understand all that. And I understand it's going to hurt like just a normal fan, correct? What I'm
They will.
asking now is
Yeah.
once they lose that, I don't know if they are or not. Like it was the first time I heard about it tonight. So I don't know what's going on, right? But let's say they lose that revenue, which is a lot of money. A lot of money. What do they do about it?
I think what they need to do is they need to get more involved and maybe say to these gambling companies, you know what, it's fantastic that we're getting lots of money from you guys, but how about increasing maybe better advertising to say that, you know what, because at the moment they've already started with these little ads, you know, you lose some, but you lose a lot more. You know, maybe
That's not
exposure.
AFL. That's gambling. Like
But that's what I'm talking
a-
about.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. You got to maybe say, you know what, we're happy with the profits, but how about encouraging to advertise a bit more, because you know it's I think it's just going to basically, you know, where do you draw the line? You know, like, yeah, sure, you lose a lot of money, but maybe there's got to be some way that they can do something to say, you know what, yeah, we love your sponsorship, but we'd want you to do a bit more of this. You know, a little bit more awareness.
Wait a sec. Before we keep going, we've got something here. Tiger Den becomes a YouTube member. Tiger Den.
I was hoping that would go under the radar. I was hoping that wouldn't pop up. There you go.
Cheers to that. Cheers to that.
Cheers for that. That's Tiger. You know who Tiger Den is? Mark?
Sorry, mate.
You know who Tiger Den is?
That's Quinny's podcast, isn't it?
All right, so that means everyone's a member
Oh,
here,
I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
except for the drug dealer on the corner here. Everyone's a member here, except for you, mate. I just want to let everyone know that. All right. Anyway, thanks to Tiger Den, and everyone. Make sure you catch all the Tiger supporters and everyone actually enjoy the Tiger Den content, man. You're a star, brother.
Not
You're
a bad
a star.
show, mate. Good on you, Quinn. It's not a bad show.
Thank you, boys.
Yeah, well done, Quinny. And can I also say that I was feeling a little bit peckish this afternoon, and I went past Schnitz, Northland.
Again,
Blue Bagger, 25% off Snuggets.
Listen, I can tell you what, mate, those Snuggets, they rock. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you.
You know, you sit there, just like nice little, you know, you're feeling a bit peckish.
They're like little schnitzels, mate.
Oh, lovely.
They're like little schnitzels. They're not fucking the asshole and tongues and lips that everyone gets in their normal fucking like bloody nuggets. These are real homemade pan-fried nuggets from Northlands snits. So everyone get down there. What do we got here? Okay, Mark Quinn. Hope you guys are doing okay. Up the Magpies. Big supporter of ours. We love No Regrets. What's this one here? Mark tight ass, mate. You're starting to get a reputation, you bloke. What's going on here?
We've got to keep something going at least.
Hey, nothing worse than a
We've got to
great
keep the conversation going, mate.
tight ass. Just remember that. Nothing worse than having a great
Northlands. Everyone get down there, mate. That's it. There's nothing worse than a bloody tight ass. All right, let's get back to the conversation. We've got some other comments here. This might help. Let's see. What does Lou? AFL is a non-profit organisation. They distribute profits to clubs and grassroots football. That's what they're supposed to be doing. Yeah. What else is going here? They get $4 billion in TV money and yet still charge through the roof, and that is one of the problems. Yeah. So, what about you two at the bottom? What do you reckon?
I mean, I'm not really into the politics of what these guys receive and what they don't receive, but for the gambling side of things, yeah, they've got to invest a little bit more in making the awareness. But what do you do with the funds? I don't know. Yeah, go to the Little League or the Auskick or junior football and so forth. But I think the AFL is doing a good job. I honestly do. They're doing okay.
Yeah, it's a tough one because they've got to find, like, obviously if they're losing the funding and the income that comes from gambling, if they lose that, they've got to make up for it somehow because they're a big organisation. They're going to feel the gambling money going missing. And I don't have a solution as to where else it comes from. It's going to sting in the ass a little bit, knowing that we're going to have to pay for it, but it does have to come from somewhere. So unless there's a better idea out there, we might have to just cop it, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the
Fair
whole
enough.
thing, man. Like at the end of the day, like I said to you, Manny, just before, that's fair enough. I understand. But if they lose that money, it's just like the government. If they lose some sort of money, man, there's no way they're gonna earn less. So they're gonna get it from somewhere. And unfortunately, we might have to pay. But you're right. There's got to be a way that they can generate some more money through the thing and help the people who support. Because without us, let's be serious, they're playing
right.
to empty stadiums, but unfortunately, and when it comes to like families and that, a little bit of a rise in prices affects them big time. And you get a family of four, man. Like I'm telling you, you don't get away with $100 going to the football if you got to go and buy tickets and food and that. And not everyone can afford $100. Let's be serious.
Yeah, I got a mate of mine that's going up to Adelaide for the Port Adelaide Collingwood match in a couple of weeks. And flights aside, I think he said for 4 or 5 people, it's costing them nearly $300 just on footy tickets alone. That's that's not including flight to Adelaide over.
It's pretty much like going. It's pretty much like going to a concert these days. You get a concert, you pay $150, $200 to get a seat and watch your favorite band or whatever. And footy's pretty much becoming like that. It's a bit of a concept, you know what I mean? Like you've got to watch them and the parade and hopefully they win. Yeah, it costs a few dollars to go and watch a footy game now these days. So
the worst part is, unlike a concert, we go every week to the footy. We don't go every week to the concert, so it hurts more when it comes to the footy. Yeah, so I agree with Peter here. Membership prices are going to go up, and like we don't spend enough on them at the moment. But like I said before, it does have to come from somewhere. So
yeah, and it does, and we'll see what they come up with. But unfortunately, it's gonna it's one of that evil necessities, that gambling, man. Like everyone goes, oh, it's bad, but a lot of things get done with that money. You know what I mean? And so like they put out the ads. Oh, like how much do you lose? You lose more. Blah blah blah. But mate, they want it. They want you in there. They want you to blow all your money. They don't really care about anything but getting that money off you. They make it look like they give you an illusion that they care. They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care.
No. You're right. Yeah. There seems to be a lot of advertisements these days.
It is, yeah.
They used to say that years and years ago, you had kids that would stay at home, 4-year-olds, that just, that still not, ready for school yet. And around 12:30, 1 o'clock, they'll always be putting, Macca's ads on, because kids will sit there and they'll be getting brainwashed. Oh, mummy, I want Macca's and Coke. Coca-Cola used to throw ads in there. All of a sudden you see they're showing the kids are just obsessed with Macca's and Coke, Macca's and Coke, Macca's and Coke. So,
100%.
but the Bomber supporters got a bit confused when they heard Coke. And of course, we won't talk about that. We'll leave that alone, Mark. Hey?
Yeah, they're starting to go to Pepsi now, mate.
They took it literally.
They took it literally. Yeah.
We're flying, mate. That's what we call the flying bombers. We're flying.
You're flying high, that's for sure.
Flying high. It's a good movie.
What happened to alcohol advertising?
Yeah,
we still got alcohol advertising.
You still get the odd Furphy commercial, I think. Yeah.
We get heaps of advertising for sure, man. They're all over the place, man. So anyway, it is what it is, man. This evil world we live in, but unfortunately, it is what it is. All right, what's next on the agenda? What is next, Manny? You must have some shit to talk about. Your shit game that you watched. What you had a few issues you were discussing before the broadcast. Tell me.
Yeah, I mean, you've had the Crows who've been sitting there and they've been crying every day for the last 4 or 5 days. Channel 7 News was putting on there. Then all the other channels got involved to sit there and say that should have been a free kick at the end of, that last 10, 15 seconds. I personally had a look at it. I just think it was 2 players running at the ball. And, one of them I think he ended up scratching his lip a little bit. There was a little bit of blood there, and he's sitting there. And he's going, look up, look up, boy. I've got a little bit of blood on my lippy. There. I mean, come on. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm one-eyed, and maybe I am one-eyed. But what do you reckon?
Well, you two, did you watch the game?
Yeah, I watched the game. The start of the fourth quarter, I already knew what the end result was going to be because we've seen it week in, week out. But it was no, look, Manny, it happened real quick, so I can see how it was missed. But it was definitely high contact. He got him in the face, but it happened so fast. Like I don't blame the umpire for missing that one. The one thing I was actually really surprised with, and surprisingly happy with as well, is that the AFL actually admitted that there was a mistake made on the weekend. They never admit guilt. And they came out and admitted guilt for the first time I can remember in recent times. So that was something. But yeah, I think it was high. But yeah, it would happen that quickly. It would have been nearly impossible to pick up on it.
What about that Johnson tackle where they played Adelaide inside the square, where he's literally arm around the Johnson's neck and took him down. I mean, and all of a sudden, they're obvious. But the one on Saturday or on Sunday, that wasn't obvious in my opinion. That was just two, and and in the heat, the way they were running for the ball, the pressure. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, good luck to Collingwood. We managed to get over the line. I mean, did we play good football? Not really. I mean, half time we looked good, but then come that third quarter, it's like we put our feet back and said, you know what, let's relax for the time being, see what Adelaide can do. You can't afford to do that in 5-6 weeks' time when you seriously want to be playing finals football. So
that's certainly, from my point of view, that was certainly a free kick to Adelaide. Now the umpire that was there, pretty much said I couldn't see the high tackle, but you got 4 umpires now. Why have we got 4 umpires for? Why couldn't another umpire see that and say that is a high tackle, and pay that free kick? Well, why is there 4 umpires for them? What's the reason? Why don't we just go back to 2? That was a high tackle. 15 seconds to go in the game.
With that decision, for me, it's like you can give it or you can't. Like it's there, but how many did they miss during the game?
Because it's a close game. Because it's a close game. Even between some of the conflicts there, the ball was, and there was some player getting held. I'm like, that's holding the man. So they let it go because obviously they don't want to pay that free kick because the umpire is going to get, pretty much dropped the week after. But you got 4 umpires, mate. Why have we got 4 umpires for?
You're still going to miss some because just the way the game is.
But mate,
played.
I was watching it on TV and I could see it.
Yeah, I know, but it's easier probably to see it on TV. You know what I mean? So I don't know because to tell you the truth, I've only seen a replay.
They're hesitant to pay the free kick. They're hesitant to pay the free kick because obviously they're going to get, controversy for that umpire. So they're going to go, let it go, play on. But if it was in the first quarter, it would have been free kick. 15 minutes
they shouldn't. If that's the case, then that's wrong. They shouldn't be it shouldn't determine when you get a free kick if it's at the first minute or the last minute. It should always be the same. I reckon they've just missed it. In that game, that wasn't even my issue. The issue was the missed goal, the missed goal decision where it was a goal and they called it touch. That was my issue. Right?
Yeah.
And the reason that's my issue is because they've set up, right? They've set it up where now they've got this camera to give you the decision and they still can't get it right? So that was my issue. Like it's either they go back to just let the umpires decide, but then they decide, no, we're going to add 5 billion cameras, right? All right, add 5 billion cameras and then you still get it wrong?
Yes.
Like seriously, if that happens in the grand final, you're gonna be spewing.
Yeah.
What? They haven't got an extra camera on the other side. They've already spent like $20 billion on cameras. Seriously, if I put my iPhone on that fucking post, I would have seen that. It's not that hard. So my issue is if you're gonna use the equipment, make sure you get it right or take it away.
And most of the time, it's always inconclusive. It's always inconclusive.
How can it be inconclusive?
What's it? That's right. Exactly. Well, how does
You
that
know
work?
what I mean? Like,
We've got
what, we
cameras.
haven't got that sort, and then they say it costs too much. All right, that's my issue.
Right,
You know
the
what I think?
umpire's call. Back to the umpire's call. We'll just go back to the umpire's call, and that's it. If it's touched or if it hit the post, 1 point, that's it. And then they go score review.
How can that footage be so grainy? I just don't understand. Like,
It's going to
please,
cost a final
someone
one, though,
with
mate.
more tech knowledge than me, make me understand how they can't get clear footage off the goalpost. It just doesn't make sense to me. You know
Correct.
what I mean?
Exactly.
What are they using? What are they using? It looks like they're using those cameras from the 7-Eleven. You know, whenever they get somebody, they catch them. It's that grainy look. What are they using, man? Like,
they've used Crime Stoppers cameras. And Rock, you talked about them, you know, and they're doing it in a grand final. It happened in an elimination final last year for those Richmond supporters that are still salty about that. Every major sporting league in the world that has decent cameras for like reviewing decisions and goals, NBA, Premier League soccer, cricket's got its own mention in the comments.
Cricket gets it right.
They've all got it spot on, and somehow it honestly looks like we're using it. Like you said, the old 7-Eleven cameras or a camera on an old Nokia phone from 20 years ago. If you're not going to do the technology properly, if you're not going to get it right, don't have it there. Either do it all out and you spend the right money that needs to be spent to get spot on, or you don't bother. I'd rather cop the goal umpire missing a decision or making a mistake than going to technology, and the technology still makes a mistake.
You know what I think has happened? If you see when it actually happened, the Adelaide player, the way he celebrated, he sort of celebrated, and it was like, you know, like it wasn't like celebrating. Yes, you know, it wasn't touch. Like really made it obvious. The way he did it. If you look at the replay, the way he jumped, and he was like
short either, Manny.
Well, there you go. So if he was 100%, he was on it was right there. So he would have, if he was 100% sure, he would have been cheering. He would have been going off his nut.
What has that got to do with the technology? I don't understand what that's got to do with the result.
Because it was inconclusive, and the way he celebrated, I reckon they've just
Manny, they don't go by the play. They never go by the player. We're talking.
You know what? I don't know. That's just my personal opinion.
I know you don't go to games.
But hang on. If you have a look, if you honestly have a look at the way that player,
but it's
got facial expression, it was like, damn, you know. I'm just, you know, look, everything plays a role.
Listen to me. You got 2 years for fucking a reason. Listen to me. It's got nothing to do with the player. If it had something to do with the player, the umpire would be looking at the player for every decision. It's got nothing to do with the player. You understand? In the 1993 grand final, right, Silvani touched that ball. He was 100% certain he touched that ball from long. Yes, he did. Because
he did touch it.
He touched
it, but across the line.
It was made by the umpire because he decided that it was a goal. And that was it. If you're going by Manny's strategy, they would have given that a point because Silvani was 100% sure he touched it, you know. Yeah. What I'm saying, Manny, that's not the issue. What I'm saying is this. The umpire, right? The goal umpire said it was a touch, right?
Yeah. Inconclusive.
Oh my God, listen. The goal umpire said it was a touch, but he wanted it reviewed.
Yeah.
You understand? Then they go to the review, and because of their poor technology on the day, because later on they find footage, right, that was conclusive, right? So my argument is it doesn't matter what you're saying. My argument is they've got the technology, but it's no good. So don't use it. Because that was a goal. That was a goal. It got nothing to do with the player. They went to the technology. They went to the technology.
Well, the technology says it wasn't.
And they didn't have the footage that come out 2 days later or a day later. Where was that footage? Where was that footage? Now, my argument is this, Manny. It's got nothing to do with the game's done. My argument is they've got this technology and they still can't get it right. Then don't use it. Then don't use it.
Yep, exactly.
That's it. If you got technology and that's still an iffy, don't use it.
You know
Don't
what? It brought back memories for me from a young lad. The Hand of God by the late Diego Maradona.
But
That
there
was
was
the Hand
no
of God.
technology those days.
But what I'm saying is the way he did it and the way, it's so you basically, you got modern technology that still can't get it right.
Then
Back then
use
they
it,
didn't
mate.
have it.
Then don't use it.
What's the
Because
There was
solution?
there was one player. There was one
They've got
player.
it right. In every other sport, they've got it right. But in football, we are still like in a third world country with this technology. It's mind blowing. It's mind blowing that they can't get that right. They can't get that right. If that happens in the grand final, you are going to be fucking spewing about that. If the footage comes out the next day, because the point is, if they didn't have that footage, you would have just gone with it, correct? But
Yeah.
this footage comes out the next day. Like, where was that? Where was that footage? Like, that's what upsets me. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing, mate. And they still can't get this fucking right, mate. They're unbelievable.
And I think also, if you've noticed, the umpires these days
We have the technology. We have.
they sit there and all of a sudden, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's have a look at the technology. When they're right there, So even the
No, but
umpires,
I can understand in that situation that sometimes they don't see it. They want to go to technology. I understand that. That's good. But get it fucking right, mate. Like, it's $1 billion company, mate. Like, you're costing, with that decision, you could cost someone their job. Right? That could mean someone's job because they get the decision wrong. They've lost 10 games in a row. You know what I mean? But I mean, they get rid of the coach because of that one decision. I'm telling you, shit like that happens, mate. That one decision costs jobs, mate. Like, if you're going to do it right, or don't do it at all. Just don't do it at all. Just leave it back to the umpire. He makes the decision. Everyone moves on, mate. That's it. That's what they should do. But they don't. They get it fucking wrong. The problem is they show us too.
Well, the worst is sometimes they say they've got conclusive footage, but they refuse to actually show anybody the footage that they've seen.
And that I don't get either. Like, well, what's going on there?
We have got conclusive footage to say that was definitely a behind. All right, show it. Nah, we won't show you. We won't show you. We'll just tell you that we've seen it.
Yeah, that's right. It's like it's the weirdest thing. This goal umpire, and what happens too, I've noticed now is I'll go back to cricket. In the old days, mate, when we used to watch cricket, they used to make a decision for a run out, and I'm telling you, 99% of the time, that was spot on. That was fucking spot on. Now they refuse to make a decision. They go straight to technology, and now you're losing the skill of the umpire. He just doesn't look anymore. You know what I mean? And we're doing the same with this now. Like, he's just going, let's go to the thing. Yeah, let's waste another 20 seconds. Let's bring it back. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man.
That's what I was saying. The umpires are referring back to, let's see what the technology is going to show us.
But the review also takes away the fluidity of the game too, because instead of getting a quick kick out from full back, you allow the other team to completely set up, and it changes the way the game would have been played. So every time they make a decision, it's ruining the whole game rather than just letting 100%. It play and making a choice. Only do it if you're only 10% sure. If you're 95% certain, just run with it.
I reckon too, man. There's nothing wrong with that. And it shouldn't even take that long. Shouldn't even take that long, mate. Man, they got cameras. Just have a quick look. Bang, bang, bang. Yep, done, mate. That thing should be worked out, As I said, that footage is amazing how bad that footage is. Like, it's so grainy. And then they tell me about the pixels and how fast it goes. Yeah, all I'm hearing is excuses, mate. I'll use the old saying, mate. They could put a man on the bloody moon, but yet they can't see the bloody goal line on the goal post from fucking 3 meters away. Let's be serious here.
They should be doing what they do after every, if it's a behind, just say, they should do what they do after every goal. Because even when it goes to the middle, sometimes it gets called back because someone upstairs has looked at it and gone, that was a top. Let the ball play on, and if it is a point, you just kick the footy back. That way,
Yeah.
the game doesn't stop. You don't ruin the other team's momentum. And then if it gets called back, it gets called back. So be it. I'd rather that than spend 35 seconds to a minute waiting for someone upstairs to make the wrong call anyway.
Lou asks, are we even using high def? I don't know, because that footage is amazing how bad it is, man. Like, I don't even know what they're using these days, man. Like,
They're
it's
using
just
disposable cameras.
well, it looks like
wind
it.
them up.
Like, it looks like it, you know. Like, you can see, like, sometimes you can see that fuzzy ball, and you don't know where the ball starts or where it ends. You don't know where the finger is. You know what I mean? And like, it's real weird. All right. Anyway, we can go on. Umpiring decisions. It just might, like, I don't really care about umpires, because you get some, you lose some, whatever. You know what I mean? The problem is when it happens at the end of a game, or when it's really close, it becomes, really like explodes into something. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's he say? Resolution is less than standard. It probably is, man, because really I don't understand, mate. Like, seriously, have a look at some of these TikTok videos, mate. These people are getting such high definition videos, mate, these girls, and now all of a sudden we can't get a high definition video. That's exactly right. Use the phone, mate. I'm telling you, I reckon if I stand there with my phone, I would get better vision. If I just stand there with my phone holding it on the line, if they just tape the fucking iPhone onto there and just leave it for record for an hour, for 3 hours, whatever, you'd get better bloody stuff, man. Anyway,
I would pay good money to see you standing there for a whole game like this. Just filming. I'd pay good money.
Rocco just sitting there he'd be sitting there taking selfies.
No, we'll strap you to the padding on the post. I'd be like this.
I wouldn't be taking selfies, mate. People would be wanting to taking selfies with me, man. I'll be all day in the crowd taking selfies.
DC just made a good point in the comments.
Why did they change the rules to speed up the game? Then, on the other hand, take all day to make a decision for a goal or a point on the replay. Go figure. And that's 100%, man. They spend all this money to fast up. That's another thing I'm going to talk about, fucking speeding up the game, right? They're all full of shit. I'll give you an example. The reason they wanted to speed up the game is because they want more goals. They want more action, right? And I'll tell you something, mate. They reckon we have less goals now than we ever have. In 1979 and in those years there, right, Carlton in 1979 kicked on an average of 120 points a game, 100 for every single game, and that was throughout the competition, right? If they'd scored 15 to 16 goals, it was a failure. Years later, they're trying to fasten up the game, and yet they have slowed it up that slow that we're down to like 10 or 12 goals a game. Why do they always try to change it, man? We had the right formula. We had the right fucking formula. And all their rules are there to try to fasten up the game, but all they've done is slow it up and make it less attractive. Yeah. Let's be serious.
Yeah. And some coaches do that to slow the game up to win premierships, like, Sydney, Fremantle.
Richmond kicked 150 points in the 72 grand final, and Carlton kicked 170 points. Like, that's the kind of stuff we used to have. Now we get grand finals that are 8 goals to 10. And don't get me wrong, I like a defensive game too, but far out, we're all here to see goals, aren't we?
Yeah.
Well, that's right.
And that'll come through again.
We're one of the only sports in the entire world that changes its rules and interpretations as much as we do. We've done it since the history of the game. We've always changed, but we're the only sport that does it this constantly.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. No other sport does that. Like, when's the last time soccer made a change? The offside rule. Like, that was it. That was it. We have got and then the thing is, what they do is they try to make these, for example, Hawthorn, I remember in that grand final, Luke Hodge ran the ball through the defense a few times to waste minutes. And then they brought in the deliberate rule, right? Because of that, right? Now they've gone beyond that. Now there's deliberate on the boundary. There's deliberate here, far out, guys, man. They bring in one rule and then it just extends into the rest of the game, and they ruin the rest of the game. You know what I mean? So anyway,
that's why a game is so unique, mate. we're not the same as soccer and cricket. And
No, I
and
do
rugby.
realise
It's
that. But
unique.
sometimes just leave stuff. Sometimes the wheel doesn't have to be reinvented, Mark. The wheel
doesn't,
sometimes works, and that's
Yeah.
it. The
But it probably
interchanges
wasn't
destroyed
working.
the
So
game.
yeah.
Yeah.
Here you go.
So,
I, the Moments, made a good point too. I'm not a big
Which
NFL
one?
fan. About the NFL changing its rules. I'm not a big NFL fan, so I didn't know that. But
Yeah.
granted, most sports, I'll change it. Most sports don't change their rules as much as we do.
all right. Don't get me wrong. I don't watch NFL either, so I don't know. But far out, I don't know how many they change, but far out. If they change more than AFL, I'd be shocked because there's at least 4 or 5 rule changes every year. They slightly change, you know.
And if they don't change the rule, they'll change the interpretation of the rule,
Exactly.
and then it just confuses everybody.
That's the same with like pushing in the back. You don't even know anymore. It used to be, remember when all you had to do was put your hand on their back and it was a free kick, remember? And then
Mark
it went,
might
you
remember.
needed 2 motions. You know what I mean? It's always an interpretation. And even during the year, apparently the umpires will go in and go, right, this week we're concentrating on this rules. You know what I mean? And, well, what do you mean this week? You should be always concentrating on that rule, you know? Like...
Sounds like councils. This week we're focusing on people parking illegally. Next week we're going to focus
here
on.
we go. AFL makes more rule changes than governments adding new laws. It's exactly right. Yeah. So anyway, all right. Listen, we've rambled on a lot. We're already far out going into it. Let's get into what happened this week. Let's go into Manny. This is one always for you. Let's go for it.
All right. Well, you've changed the setup there, Rob.
I couldn't find the other ones. I had to go with this one. So I apologise, everyone. But there you go. You got your first 8 and your second 10.
I actually, you know what? I actually like this, and you got the Magpies sitting pretty on top. A bit lucky, as I mentioned before. But we're first, and the Bombers are sitting in the top 8 with the Magpies, and then you've got Richmond that slowly creeping up there, and Carlton who's sitting there at the moment. They 15th. Will be interesting this week against Hawthorn. So that'll be something to talk about. So
far out, mate. 15th. Geez, that's a big number. 15, isn't it? 15, 16, 17, 18.
Yeah, huge number. Huge number.
We'll see where we go from there. But since we're talking about big numbers, let's have a look at this one. 14,990. Oh, that's a big number, isn't it, Barco?
That's a huge number.
I'll give you a low number, 9,761.
Yeah,
that's a small number, isn't it?
Well, if they were playing pretty close to Carlton, they might have kicked a lot more points, but they didn't.
They weren't. They weren't. So what they were doing, they were playing against Essendon. And I actually watched that game while I was waiting for my table at the restaurant. And wow. Yeah. You actually got your ass a little bit fucking
No. I was look, I mean, we're not going to win every single game every week. So I was happy to lose over there against Freo because obviously they're, going to be favourites to win. But we did start off quite well. The first 10 minutes we're in front. But I reckon we just didn't get that momentum going. Started off well, just didn't get the momentum going. Probably missing a couple of players.
Right.
And look, I mean, like I said, you can't win them all. Coming off the bye, little things like that. But it was good to see that we went out there and got a great effort, but we ended up not getting the 4 points this week. But
great effort.
It was a good effort. It was a good effort, but we're just missing that next level of being kind of more competitive towards the next 2 or 3 quarters, and by the end of it being away, we just couldn't get out.
You know what, Mark? I don't think it's never wrong to sit there and say, you know what, we played shit. We played because you guys shocking. Are you serious? 9 goals.
Yeah, no, yeah, 9 goals in Freo. It's pretty difficult to kick goals, on that ground. But
Freo
it
has
was
been
more
getting punished week after week, mate. Like they've had the worst
they had,
last month, and they made you look second rate, mate.
yeah. Well, they had the win. That was like their final in a way. So, look, I was
Oh,
disappointed that we did not get the 4 points, but
I reckon.
we're not going to win every single game, And
Well, you
and
guys
I'm happy.
you
I'm
guys are
happy to lose
delusional.
over there.
Yeah, you're delusional. What's happening is the drugs are still there, but the players can't take them. So now what they're doing
Yeah.
is they're giving it out to the fans and the supporters, the members.
Yeah,
You guys are sitting there watching a game. You guys are delusional. Are you serious? If you want to
yeah.
sit there and say that you are a team who's going to be in the top 8 or sitting there knocking on the door of the top 4, you're playing that way, mate. You might as well pack your bags and say, you know what?
Mm,
We'll come back next year because right now,
That's okay. Yeah, that's all right.
well, it's not okay because
Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
are just, man, at the moment it's just looking bad.
Maybe,
It is
maybe,
looking
maybe,
shocking.
maybe they might start looking at the Collingwood players and the coaching staff about drugs as well, because they're doing all right at the moment, so they might have to start investigating on how they're playing so well, and then anything can happen from there. So,
Who's
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Collingwood.
Yeah.
you just don't know,
We'll get
mate.
to Collingwood in
There
a
could-
we'll
there
get
could
to
be-
Collingwood in a second,
There
but
could
let's
be a,
just
there could be a special report there going investigation, and they're all sitting there on the table in front of the Channel 7 there, and they're gone.
Is
But
this
anyway,
true?
at the end
I
of the
don't
day,
know about this. Are drugs part of the Essendon membership package? You get like a special deal down at the fucking the dock.
don't worry, mate. Be a member, mate. You get whatever you want, brothers. Whatever you want. But overall, best of the for me again was Jordan Ridley. He's becoming a fantastic young backman. And these players here, they're the next generation for the Essendon Bombers, yeah? Martin again, playing across the midfield. What a special player this kid's going to be. And Ben Hobbs, number 1. It's good to see those young players actually participating and not worrying about Merritt and Parrish and all those other players. So we'll be all right. We'll take the loss, but we've got Port Adelaide this weekend.
You got no choice. We'll take the loss. You act like you're taking it. You got no choice. You come back.
We'll
It's a
take
long
it.
trip.
Well,
It's
we'll
a long
take it
trip
because
from Fremantle.
it is. Yeah. And that's okay. I'm happy with that.
You just proved that you're just a mediocre side. You'll be lucky you've actually got some easy games coming up, to tell you the truth. But
no, we haven't got
really,
easy games. Everyone keeps on saying that. We've got Port.
Well,
at
who
the
have you
MCG.
got?
We've got Port at the MCG. Then we've got Adelaide. And then we've got Geelong over there. And then we've got Bulldogs. So everyone says that we've got an easy run. We have.
You've also got North Melbourne, haven't you?
North Melbourne and West Coast towards the end of the year. Collingwood, that I reckon will probably be.
That's an easy game, Collingwood.
That should be an easy game. But
Hey,
look, like I said, you can't win them all.
Are you missing Westerfield?
We are, to be quite honest with you, mate. We are. He's part of our plan. He's part of our midfield, regardless if he gets 10 possessions or 20 possessions. He's part of our plan. With he's a bit more body strong, and so we are missing him, mate. Now Draper's missing as well.
You got a bit of love here. Essendon playing a nice brand. They're shaping up okay. There you go. Look, some people.
We'll be okay. Like I said, we can't win them all. We're not like Collingwood at the moment, but we'll win the games towards the end of the year when it really matters. Not like Collingwood. They'll start losing the games.
Oh, look. Can I just get
doesn't matter.
No regrets. Yeah. Look, now he's trying to get some brownie points here. Rocco is still mathematically now. He's just trying to be a smart ass. No regrets.
See, yeah, you got hope.
No, but that's from a Collingwood supporter. He's been a smart ass. I'm not taking. That's just a bit of a like a jab. That's like a backhanded compliment. That one there.
Well, it's still a compliment. So why don't you just take it on board, Rocco?
Mark Pies will pump you drug cheats. Pies are no pushover. There you go. See what I mean? He gives you a little bit of a nice and then he jabs you.
That's all right. No regrets.
7 wins,
fine,
2
losses.
Here we go. People, I'm telling you, when Cohen supporters are starting to make the bloody sums, we're in trouble. 7 wins, 2 losses gives us a chance to make the 8. 8 wins and 1 loss. Far out. If we do 8 wins and 1 loss, I'm putting money to win the grand final. I'll tell you right now. If we
you guys are coming off the bye, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So who you playing?
Hawthorn.
Hawthorn. Ooh,
It's a big game, big
might
game.
be a flip of the coin for me for that one.
Big game, yeah. Well, we'll get to that soon. All right, let's go to the next one. Manny's been waiting all week for this. All bloody week. He's been waiting for this one here. Let's go. Sorry, here we go. 12, 10, 82 to 11, 14, 80. The fucking scumbag did it again. With
On drugs.
minutes,
They're on drugs
with
too.
minutes to go, they come back and they beat. Not that I like Adelaide at all, but they did beat them.
At half time,
Manny, you were there because you said you were going to the game. Did you send in those pictures of you at the game?
All right, let me thank you, Rocco. At half time,
Were you at the game? Were you at the
No, I
game?
wasn't.
Oh, but
No.
you swore you were going.
Well, Junior wasn't well. He
Okay.
he had a runny nose. It was a cold day. I didn't want to risk it. Now, Collingwood
Risk it for you or for Junior?
for Junior. They played good football up to half time, and then all of a sudden it was like McRae said to them, you know what, let's do nothing in this third quarter, and then let's see how good we are, and see if we can try and, win this game. Absolutely shocking. You can't allow any side to score 7 goals unanswered, 8 goals, wherever they scored. They killed us that third quarter. And you could see the Collingwood players just weren't going in hard. They were doing nothing. It was like they were I don't know what they were thinking, And then all of a sudden they decide, you know what, we're the team that is, we're tough. That last quarter, that's ours. They keep doing that all the time. It's, mate, just start playing good, continuous football. I don't care if we're winning and we end up winning, throughout the whole game. But to do it the way they do it, I'm telling you,
It's going to come back, mate. It's going to come back and bite in the ass.
Your heart rate's
The
going up and down.
majority of the Collingwood wins are only by a goal or two, mate. So you're lucky to get those points. You're lucky.
Yeah, but they're wins, Mark.
That could have gone halfway. So these
Mark,
Collingwood supporters are all like, you've got to be playing consistent football.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Mark. But we're getting the wins. The problem is you guys aren't playing consistent football and you're not winning. Now, I can tell you right now, against Fremantle.
Conspiracy theories are coming out, mate. Match fixing, the conspiracy theories.
Against Fremantle, you guys should have won. Are you guys going to win this week? No way. You guys have to start getting these wins. I think at the moment, you think you're getting too cocky, and I honestly think you're losing your full forwards. Now you're relying on what's this bloke that's coming in? Frampton, is it? Is that his name?
Who? Westerfield?
No, that bloke for Essendon. That's apparently he was doing pretty good. Then all of a sudden he's gone down. Draper, that's it. You guys have to start getting. These little wins, and this is what Collingwood's doing, and that's what's separating.
Yeah,
that's what's separating Collingwood from the rest of the pack. My biggest: can we beat Port Adelaide in Adelaide? If we do, then I'm going to tell you right now. Look out, because here we come. That's all I can tell you. Everything else, as far as I'm concerned, it was maybe a bad day we had. Maybe we shouldn't have given up that third quarter so easily, but we did win at the end. And, it is what it is. At the end of the day, 4 points are 4 points.
That's all right. Enjoy it while you can.
What can I say?
Enjoy it while
mate,
you
I'm
can.
enjoying it. Mate, I'm enjoying it. And you know what? And I like watching it from home because you can actually get a better view of the game from home.
So you would have sent that free kick. You would have sent that free kick.
Man. That really talks from a fucking loser. You get a better. No one gets a better view from the fucking thing, man. Yeah, seriously, you don't go to the games. I understand it was a little bit cold. It was a little bit rainy. You didn't go. We understand, Manny. You haven't been to a game in 2 years. We understand, Manny.
Yeah,
you really even when you were talking about that free kick and that, you really had no concept of what the whole concept of the ground, what was happening, nothing. What you saw was that little screen there and what they decided to show you. So you had no idea what was going on. You had no idea what was going on up the ground, right? So for you to say that really just shows, and since we're there, we might as well go straight into Manny Rivals. So we had a few more.
Hooray!
All right, so we had a few more. So I'm gonna have to get another page, but we just added a few more here. Thinks there's a player called Westerfield. Thinks Princess Park is at Brunswick, and so finally, again, didn't attend the game. Probably because you were like that one in the right-hand corner there, having a bit of a nap, and then you woke
Hang
up
on.
and
That last one. Hey, that last one. I mean, I had a justifiable reason, but there you go.
Yeah, no, but
you're still killing. You're still killing.
Thing is, Manny, if you go to games and then you miss one, then you can say, "Oh, look, I had an excuse." But you haven't been to one in 2 years, so to me, it can't always be an excuse. What's this one say? Great to see Jeremy Howe back. Yeah, he was back. That's true. What's this one here? I want to write. Rocco, show some love. How much have I been nice to Manny all night tonight? He's the one who said that he was going to the game. Wasn't me. It was him. Listen, we're getting love for one of our favourite Greeks out there. Love this. And Matula, we love Matula. She's a star, mate.
Anya Matula.
So that's it. All right, listen. Again, we go. Let's just put it out there. Bombers are losers. Manny still doesn't go to a game. Let's go into this part. All right, this time we have got a full fixture, haven't we there?
Yes, thank God. Bloody hell, mate. Jeez, what's going on?
Last week, you three were absolutely shocking, mate. Can I just say that?
Yeah. Yeah, did that good run.
Just before we start giving our tips and
we've got to be quick. Let's do it. Come on.
Hey, that coach that left the Richmond Football Club, what's going on there, matey? Are they is he thinking about coming back or what?
We have got we've got 7 minutes.
That's okay. I just want to
should have been on the AFL review.
I understand, but you know what? It's a question that I've been meaning to ask. And
well, can I just say, Manny, it's too late. I'm running the show here. We have got to get through these tips before 8 o'clock. So you've decided to come in the last minute and chuck in a question that'll take 5 minutes of discussion.
Let Quinn say something.
This is what I'm going to say, Quinn.
The computer says no.
Okay, so I gotta make it quick so I can go make sure Mason Cox isn't hiding under my bed. Thanks to no regret in the comments there. But I'll get moving. Thursday night. What a blockbuster to start the week. Brisbane take on the Tigers up at the Gabba. And geez, we're coming off the bye round, so absolutely cursed, I reckon. But I'll back my boys in as always. But I know that's not the favorable opinion this week.
Of course,
you still haven't answered my. Still haven't answered my question.
Manny, I swear we got to finish this. Do the tips for crying out loud.
Yeah, coming off the bye, guys. Coming off the bye, Quinn. I'm so sorry, mate, but I'm going to go for Brisbane, mate.
That's fair enough. And Manny, I'll get to your question after the tip, so let's fly through them.
All right, Brisbane for me.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Has to be Brisbane, I think. Sorry about that. Even though
3 weeks in a row, Rock. 3 weeks in a row, you've doubted us, mate.
I know. And you should be happy I'm going against you guys. You should be happy.
I am. It's a good omen. It's all right. We'll move on. We got our Friday night. Swannies take on the Cats up at the SCG. I reckon the Cats might have just given themselves a bit of a confidence boost over the weekend. I reckon they'll get the job done. I know Sydney beat West Coast, but yeah, that's not hard. So Geelong for me.
Yeah, this game for me is our flip of the coin. So
here we go. I like it.
So it's heads. Heads. It's Sydney for me against the Cats.
Yeah, Sydney for me.
So sorry, you two are Sydney, are you?
Yeah, Sydney.
Yeah. On the toss of the coin there, mate, it was heads. So Sydney for me, home ground. I'm
going to go Geelong. I think Sydney, I mean, there was no competition for them. They were So Geelong look like yes. Next one. Oh, what are we going to
Alrighty,
get?
Adelaide take on North up at Adelaide Oval, and Crows will win that one pretty comfortably, you'd imagine.
Yeah, Adelaide
Yeah.
for me.
Adelaide as well, obviously. Keep it safe. Keep the bet safe.
Yeah,
I'm going Adelaide too. I mean, they are playing some decent football, to tell you the truth.
that's an easy one. So we'll get going. We've got the Doggies taking on Fremantle at Marvel Stadium. I'll be on the Doggies bandwagon for this game. So, yeah, Dogs for me.
I'm going Dogs too.
Yeah, the Bulldogies for me.
Yeah. Bulldogs.
Whoa, everyone's going the Doggies.
Alrighty, Manny, your boys take on the Suns up at Heritage Bank Stadium in Queensland. And I hate doing it every week, but you can't really tip against the Pies at the moment. So, Collingwood for me.
Yeah, this game was going to be my flip of the coin game for some reason. I think Collingwood was just due for a loss, but I'm going to take the safe bet and go with Collingwood. Manny.
Yeah, well. Do I need to give you an
Safe
answer there,
bet.
Rocco?
Who's they
Safe
playing
bet,
over there, huh?
Yeah,
They're
we're
playing over there,
Rocco.
yeah.
Yeah. Magpies for me.
I'm going to go against you. I'm going to go Suns this week.
Yeah. Good on you, Rock. It's a good one.
Not a bad one. Not a
Well,
bad one.
I think there's a chance over there. You know,
Yeah.
they're actually playing not bad football. They do play a little bit better over there. So
Good weather.
good weather.
That's it.
We'll see
That's
how we
it.
go. Sun fading.
We come back
Hi.
across to the MCG. Bombers, Mark, your Bombers take on Port Adelaide on a 12-game winning streak or whatever it is. They're flying at the moment.
Yep.
And
Yep.
Sorry, Mark, it's too hard to tip against a team that's won 12 in a row. So Bombers not for me, Port for me.
Come on, mate.
They
Look,
won
they're due
12
for
in a
a
row,
loss.
Mark. What do you want from me?
They're due for a loss, man. You can't.
Yeah, they've been
keep on
due for a
winning
loss for
games.
6 weeks.
Essendon will win by
Manny?
19 points.
No.
19.
Port Adelaide for me, mate. Port Adelaide.
Yeah, I'm going Port too. Sorry, man.
Wow.
They're just playing too. They're playing too good a football, mate.
I'll
They're
just
playing too
circle
good
that
a
one
football.
there. I'll
I'd
just
love-
circle that one.
I'd
Big
love-
game.
Mark, you got a friend.
I'd love for the Bombers to beat Adelaide.
Rocco,
For me,
Rocco,
that'd be
Rocco.
that'd be fantastic.
We'll back him then. We'll back him because you're going to lose. You're going to lose
No.
a point now. You've lost
All
the
right,
point
we'll
now,
move.
Manny.
We got 3 games left in less than 3 minutes. Let's keep flying
Let's
through.
do it. Let's do it.
Rocco Hawks take on the Blues in a must-win game on Sunday afternoon. I'll back your boys in, Rock. Put me down
I
for a
like
Blues
it.
tip this week.
Of course, I'm going to go for Carl.
Is Carl coming off the bye as well?
They are.
Yes.
Jeez, I'll tell you. I'm going to do it quickly, Carlton.
All right, Carl. Manny?
Yeah, I agree with Mark.
All right, quickly, Carl. All
All
right.
right.
It's actually going to be an interesting game. It's about the same thing with the Blues and the Hawthorn. We don't know which side's going to come back, but without Sicily there, it's a big loss for them. Anyway, next one.
Moving on, up in Darwin, the D's take on the Giants, and yeah, I'm gonna go the D's. They always get the job done. Up in Darwin, they play good footy there too sometimes. So yeah, Melbourne for me.
Yeah, I'm backing the Demons. The Demons.
No, they're no longer the Demons, the D's. The
Oh,
D's.
sorry, the D's. Oh, sorry, I forgot.
The D's. The D's.
The D's.
You know what I mean?
D,
Yeah.
D, not Demons.
Yeah.
So
Melbourne
it-
Demons.
Win out for
And you-
Demons. I'm going for Demons. You, Manny?
Yeah, I'm going for the Demons.
All right.
You know,
Alrighty,
it's going to be
last
it's
game.
going to be soon enough. It'll
Sorry.
be the Essendon Injectables.
Alrighty, last game. We've got less than a minute to go. St Kilda have the bye this week against. They got West Coast, so I think we all know the answer for this one. But it'll be a St Kilda tip all around, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
fun,
St Kilda.
again. It's a funny game football. We're going to go St Kilda, but I'll tell you what, going down by so many points, it was surprising.
Yeah,
when
but
West
it's
Coast
not
come out.
one game. It's not one game, Mark. They've been doing that every
know.
week, man. To
I
turn that
know,
around.
It's sad. It's sad to see, mate. It's
Yeah,
sad to
they
see
are
from the
in a
name of
fucking world of pain. So everyone's
St.
going
Kilda.
St Kilda. All
St.
right,
Kilda.
all right. So let's have a quick look at this. Last week was a disaster for you guys. Rocco got all 6. He moves to 79.
Jinx.
Manny, 3. 72, falling away the way Collingwood will.
Jinx is
Quinn
all-
got
should be
4.
83.
He's now gone ahead of Manny. And
I'll
Mark,
get back onto my tips.
82.
Nah,
I'm slowly
I didn't get
catching
two.
you,
I've got more
bro.
than two. Hold on,
I'm
I'm looking at my
slowly-
tips here.
I'm
No,
finally
you
off
got
the
three.
bottom. I'm off the
Nah,
bottom.
Nah, there wasn't
got
two. There was
three.
three. I had three.
You got 3. I told you.
I was on 80 and now I'm on 82.
What are you talking about?
Oh, sorry. It was 83, was it?
Yeah.
I have to put my glasses on. The more bigger, more.
82, sorry.
Ah,
80.
hey,
No, you're right.
hey.
83. 83. Yeah,
Come on,
no,
man. You
you're
got to
right.
get
You
onto
were
him,
right.
mate. You got to get onto him, Manny.
Fuck, I reckon.
I still
I
caught
reckon-
up to you by 3, man, and you're only like 4 behind, so I'm ready to go. Manny,
Hey,
shut up.
Are you being fair on me, or are you just sitting there counting only half of
Oh,
mine?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Why, how many have you got? Well, you know what you can do, Manny. You know what you can do, Manny? Instead of just sitting there, right? You can do it all if you want.
Mate, we're on top. I don't care. The Magpies are on top. It doesn't bother me.
What's that got to do with it? You were just talking about, were you right? I'm just saying you can organise all the tips if you want. Next week, everybody, Manny's going to organise. Manny's going to organise the tips.
No. Hey, I'm
You're
not
doing a
complaining.
tip,
That's
Manny.
right. All right, everybody. Next week, Manny's got something to do. He's going to organise the tips while
No,
he's
I'm not.
going to the
Tips,
footy.
tips,
While
tips,
he's doing
tips.
all that, he's
No,
going to fit that in between.
I'm not.
All right,
I'm not.
guys, we got to go because we have got a big interview coming. We have got a massive interview. We have got Des English, 2-time premiership player. Got a big interview. The bloke was an absolute star. His career was cut short with cancer, and then he's come back from that and survived all this time. He's still alive and kicking well. In the meantime, he won 2 premierships, and he's got a great story. So everyone go over
That's
there
fantastic.
and catch that.
Hey, what
You
about
boys.
Harvey? Is Harvey coming back?
We got to go. All right, guys. Nice to talk to you. We'll see you next week. Thanks, everyone, for joining. And we'll see you next week.
Go Titans!